morning. I'm at the Shinkansen station in Tokyo. I'm going to head to Hiroshima this weekend for a 3-day weekend. I thought I'd make another video and take you guys along. As you can see in the background, quite a lot of people are wearing masks, obviously because of the coronavirus. Even me. The station's not that busy at the moment. A lot of flights from China to and from China have been cancelled, and it's mostly Chinese tourists in Japan. So maybe this weekend will be a little less busy than it would be usually. But for the time being, even though these things aren't really very effective, I've been given strict orders from bosses, girlfriends, acquaintances to wear a mask. So I will be wearing one, at least on the Shinkansen. Alright, I have some bento for breakfast. I'll see you on the train. Okay, so we arrived safely in Hiroshima. It's about lunchtime. It's a really nice day actually. So for lunch we're going to get some okonomiyaki, which means stuff that you like fried. It's like a Japanese pancake. It's overstuffed with loads of ingredients. So it's also not too expensive, which makes a change. Normally local delicacies are a little expensive, but I'm going to go check it out. Check out a place that was recommended to me. So I'll see you inside. Right, so we ordered the house special, which came with squid and prawns. It looks really good. So the other ingredients, I think, there's pancake, onions, cabbage, bits of meat. I don't know. It's kind of everything all together, and it works really well together with this kind of sickly sweet sauce that it always comes with on top. So let's give it a taste. So Hiroshima style okonomiyaki comes with noodles, and so one side of the noodles are fried and crispy, but the underside, where the heat hasn't touched it, is still quite chewy. So I guess it's just another texture in your mouth, which is quite nice. There's some seafood as well, which is fresh and delicious. So I'm going to finish up here and then go do some sightseeing. So I've come to Shikkein, which means like shrunken garden. This pond is pretty big though. I don't know what they're talking about, but I think some other features are a little small. But yeah, it's quite big. There's a few people around. And so it's not cherry blossom season here in Japan, but it's plum blossom, which is normally January, February time. It's not kind of like known internationally, but Japanese people really like it. So all of the pink and white blossoming flowers that I'll attach some videos, that's plum blossom. It's quite nice as well. So it takes about 50 minutes to walk around here apparently. So I'll see if I can find some good photos and videos. It's a pretty peaceful place. It's quite nice. So just quickly, whilst I show you some videos of the park, I thought I'd talk a little bit about travelling in Japan, like with or without Japanese. So obviously, before I came to Japan, I'd studied a bit, and I've continued to do so whilst I'm here. But in terms of how that impacts travelling, like, it's pretty minimal. I think if you come to Tokyo, you'll be really surprised at how widespread English is. I think you'd be hard pressed to find somewhere in Tokyo that doesn't have at least an English menu. Maybe it's crudely Google translated, but you'd be able to communicate. Certainly the same with Kyoto, and so far here in Hiroshima. There's English guide tours around this park for free, you know. So if you're thinking of coming to Japan and one thing you're worried about is the language barrier, then I would suggest not to worry at all. Finished walking around the park. It was actually a really nice start to the trip. Obviously the trains in the morning going to central Tokyo can be a little bit stressful, finding the right train, so it's a nice way to relax. Since then I've walked about 15 minutes and I'm at the next place. I've come to Hiroshima Castle, so I don't know much about it, so hopefully we can learn a little bit and I'll show you around. Okay, had a look around the castle. You could actually enter the castle and climb up, and on each floor there was kind of a different period of the castle's history. And to sum it up, you know, it kept getting burned down, rebuilt, this person took it, this person fought, took it back. But then in 1945, when it was bombed by the Americans, it was completely destroyed. And there was a picture inside that just showed there was nothing left. And after that it was kind of faithfully rebuilt to how it is now, and you can get up right to the top and kind of see outside. You just get a nice view of the city. You can see that it's surrounded by mountains. So now it's like an afternoon snack. I've got some ice cream, some sake, some Japanese alcohol ice cream, which I've never seen before, so I'll give it a try. This is going to be awkward. It actually does taste like Japanese alcohol quite a lot. It's okay. It's novel. So the castle's kind of located in this big square in the centre of the city, and there's a couple of shrines around that I'll go check out. I might take a few videos of that and put them over the top of this before I head back to the hotel and see what it's like staying in a guest house. It was very cheap, so we'll see. Once again, welcome to my room. This type of room is becoming quite familiar actually. I think I paid about 20 quid for 2 nights in central Hiroshima. Obviously you don't get much, but the places are always super clean and the staff are super friendly. Not at all sketchy, so it's great. It makes travelling really simple, especially when you're on your own. So yeah, another night in a pod.
イギリスを来てもらう。
イギリスを来てもらうけんね。
アイスランドじゃウェールズ。
そう。すごい。言われるよね。美しいからね。言いたいことはありますか？イギリス人に。
イギリス人に言いたいこと？
はい。
イギリス人に。
紳士。みんな紳士よ。
あ、紳士だけ。イギリスの方は紳士だけ。
あ、はい。
で、女性。ガール。美人。
あ、そうです。そうです。はい。じゃあ、ありがとうございます。So that was great fun. I went to this tiny little sushi place that just happened to have a few good reviews on Google. It was like an old couple, they were both like 74 or something, and the old man had been making sushi for 53 years at the same place, so it was delicious, but I couldn't understand a word he said. He had a really thick accent, he's old, but luckily the wife was like translating into comprehensible Japanese, which was kind of her. The old man just kept making food, he just kept giving me sashimi, so I'm super full. It was such a great experience, and when I left, they gave me like one of their store's mugs, like one of the tea cups, which was like a super nice teacup, and I'll definitely use it. It was such a cool experience. It was a bit like a Japanese test as well. I was having to concentrate quite hard whilst I was eating, but it was super worth it. Really, really fun. Okay, back at the hotel. I'm going to put some earplugs in and pray to God that no one's snoring. But yeah, it was a really, really good first day. I will see you in the morning. Alright, morning, day 2. A little bit hungover. I feel like I slept in a box. But let's see if some sea air can heal me. Wow. It worked! I feel great. Just got off the ferry. Now I'm at Miyajima, which means Shrine Island. It's home to Hiroshima Shrine, which is really famous, and the really famous Red Torii, the Red Gate floating in the sea, which is currently under construction. Maybe because of the typhoon, I'm not sure. But the island's also inhabited by loads of really friendly deer, so I'll show you some footage of that. Apparently they always try and steal your food, so that might be fun. There's loads of oyster shops everywhere, and there's lots to see. So let's get started. Hello. Hello. Ah! So just walking around the streets on Miyajima, there's loads of cool little shops. There are a million places selling oysters, but there's an extra pick-me-up. I got some Hiroshima lemon soda, so let's see. Oh, it's like sweet and sour. It's delicious. I'm gonna drink this and keep walking around. Hiroshima Shrine was first built back in 593 AD, but since then it's been kind of destroyed, remodeled, rebuilt, which is a similar story for almost everywhere in Japan, almost all the shrines and temples. But it's a really interesting bright red colour. Apparently that keeps away bad spirits, and several goddesses are worshipped there, most notably the goddess of the sea. It's built floating in the water after all. And whilst we were there was some ceremony going on, with some music and a guy dressed up, not like a samurai but in something. I'm pretty sure even the Japanese people won't really know what's going on, but when you're at a place like that, for some reason it's interesting to watch. So I did a bit of that. Getting a bit hungry, thinking about some lunch. There are two things actually on the island. There's oysters and anago, which is sea eel. Again, supposedly a delicacy here, so I'm not sure which I'll do. We'll see. I got both. Lunch was really, really good. The anago, the sea eel, tasted a lot like mackerel, really fresh mackerel. But the oysters, the fried oysters, were so good. The outside was super light and crispy, and the oyster itself was like meaty and juicy and almost sweet. I guess a testament to how fresh it was. And as is somewhat common with Japanese food, there were lots of little pickles. No idea what they are, but they're all quite pleasant. And then there was also a little dessert. So overall, it was a really, really good lunch. On the way here, not here, I'm sort of heading to a park. On the way here, there was this shop selling lots of Buddhist wooden statues, which is not, I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen them for sale. But there were some amazing ones, including two that were kind of engraved with a bit of gold. And they were each about £250,000. So, you know, like a supercar, the same amount of money as a supercar for a statue. But they're awesome. Don't have the money myself, but maybe if I did. Anyway, these deer behind me, they're chilling, having a good sunbathe in the afternoon. I'm gonna go take a walk through the park. So there's supposed to be a ropeway to the top of the mountain on the island, but it's closed for maintenance. It says it's an hour and a half walk, and I just asked one of the people on the way down how it was, and he said it was okay. Hopefully the view at the top's worth it. Make it to the top, and the views were absolutely awesome. I've been so lucky with the weather today and yesterday. Everyone's so friendly up here. Everyone was saying hello in English or Japanese or whatever, chatting a bit, taking pictures with each other. And just on the way down, just found a shrine here. There's literally nowhere Japanese people won't build shrines. But I'm so tired, my legs are killing me. So I think what I need is an ice cream. So what you can see behind me is probably after Mount Fuji, the most famous view in Japan. Under construction. My ice cream, maybe watch the sunset on the beach, and then head back to the hotel and start thinking about dinner. Alright, I came home from Miyajima. I got some oysters on the way, and I met an Australian dude in my hotel when we went out for dinner. We got some deep fried skewers at local izakaya, which is pretty good. It's his first trip here in Japan, so I'm going to give you a few words from him. What's your name?
My name is Rob.
Where are you from?
I'm from Australia.
Which part of Australia?
I'm from Brisbane.
Okay, is this your first time in Japan?
It is. My first day. I arrived this morning.
Okay, so how was dinner?
Dinner was really good. I think the dumplings were probably my favourite part, but also those skewers, like they were pretty random, like what it was they had fried, but they were super crispy, so that was good.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And what are you looking forward to the most in Japan?
Combination of things. Two things. One being Tokyo, like one of the biggest cities in the world. I've heard Tokyo's insane. I don't really know what to expect. I've only heard people say it's nice. And then also the snow. We're going to Hakuba for a 4-day festival on the mountain, which I expect to be good.
All right, awesome. Anything you want to say to English people in particular? Nothing. That's a terrible question.
I don't have anything to say away from the English people, sorry.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to call it a night. Another good day in Hiroshima. We've got one more left. Have yet to see the atomic dome. So that's on the agenda tomorrow. See you then. Hello. I'm sat in Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. Just got done seeing the atomic bomb museum, which was harrowing. They really didn't hold back, nor should they have, but there were pictures of the wreckage, testimonials from survivors, clothes of children that had died in the blast. And for me, the most moving thing I saw was some of the letters written by children who were in the makeshift medical centres just after the bomb, writing letters to their missing parents and family. It was tough. I guess it's similar to watching Schindler's List, where it's a really good movie, you're glad you watched it, but you're never going to watch it again, and likewise I don't think I'll ever go to the museum again, because it was tough. I think technically you could film in there, but you just wouldn't. So instead I think what I'll show you is some of the monuments that are around the park. There's the flame that they won't quench until all atomic bombs have been removed from the world. There's a monument to the children who died in the blast, and there's most notably the atomic dome, which, despite being close to the centre of the blast, survived and has since become a symbol for peace in the city and in the country. It's a really nice wide open park, a nice place to be, kind of recover after the museum, which you do need to do. I'd still recommend it to anyone that comes to the city, absolutely, but it's tough. So I'm going to sit and relax a little bit more in the park, thank the man behind me for playing such nice music, and see if we can find some lunch somewhere. A little udon shop for lunch. It's been in business since like 1935. It's cheap and actually really, really good. So the noodles themselves are springy and bouncy. And the meat, which is really, really thinly sliced, is chewy. Kind of the more you chew it, the more flavour it releases. Topped with some fresh vegetables, well seasoned broth. It's a great lunch. And just like that, I'm home. Yeah, I didn't film too much in the afternoon because I'd sort of done everything I wanted to do in Hiroshima and my energy levels kind of plummeted. But whilst I was just kind of walking around the city a bit, I saw some live music. But I'm going to hold off on judging the clearly middle-aged men fawning over the clearly underage girls. Because you never know, another year or two in Japan I might be there jumping around with them. After that, found some rather indulgent waffles in the station. Fun fact, strawberry season is winter in Japan due to selective breeding for some reason. So yeah, in winter you get strawberries here. Then just bought some gifts for co-workers and Japanese teacher and girlfriend and headed home. So overall, Hiroshima was great. They were some of the friendliest people I've ever met in Hiroshima. And the food was good, and it's a culturally important place for Japan, for the world. So if you're watching from within Japan, definitely, if you get the chance, go down there. I'd recommend it. And if you're watching from abroad, yeah, if you're planning a big trip to Japan, I think it's well worth a night or two in Hiroshima. So with that, thanks for watching. Again, maybe. Hopefully this was the least bad vlog yet. That's my intention. Okay, I'll see you next time.